back to Life with Angela here on Pelican Plus. I'm so excited that you're tuning in for episode 3. Make sure you tell your friends about this show, especially if you have found it to be edifying or at least informative and helps you think about life issues in a more clear manner. Also, I just want to say this show is one that I think you have to approach with a degree of prudence. That's not maybe necessarily something you want to listen to while little ears are around, that kind of a thing, because I am covering life and death issues. So with that in mind, I would like to dive into the first story. It's pretty dark. It's a fairly dark story, but it sets the backdrop moving through the rest of the show, because the show is largely just about how absolutely incoherent everything is. Back in 2023, a Florida man named Donovan Faison killed his pregnant girlfriend, 18-year-old Kaylin Fiengo, who was a single mother with a child from a previous relationship already. And the reason he killed her, you might ask, is because she refused to abort their child. He lured her to a park under false pretenses, telling her that they were going to have a celebration for her pregnancy. And he ended up shooting her in the head while she waited in the car. What's so awful is they found the ultrasound photo near her feet. He just left her there for dead. And she was so excited about this pregnancy. She had sent him a picture of 2 positive pregnancy tests. He thought she was kidding. And his first response was abortion in all caps with several exclamation points. And a fun little fact about Faison is that he was living with his girlfriend. Not the victim, of course. It was another woman that he was living with, and she already suspected that he was seeing other women. Their relationship was on the rocks, and she already suspected him of cheating, and so this played a significant part in terms of him wanting to cover up his crime. His crime, in his mind, was not that he killed his pregnant girlfriend or the woman that he was sleeping with. The crime for him was that he got her pregnant. He texted a friend of his saying, "On my brother's grave, I'm going to crop her out." Kaylin, this poor woman, must have been aware that Faison had the potential to be violent, because she expressed fear to the father of her firstborn child that Faison would do something like punch her in the belly in an attempt to kill the baby. As Jonathan Van Maren rightly pointed out, even pro-abortion outlets are acknowledging that this is a double homicide. This brings me to the beginning of this whole topic, is that so much of the abortion debate is absolutely incoherent. Now, 38 states have laws defining killing a pregnant woman and her unborn child as a double homicide. 30 of those states have it defined this way, regardless of the stage of pregnancy, and the remaining 8 consider it to be fetal homicide if the mother is past the stage of quickening. Now, the stage of quickening refers to, for those of you who are new to some of the abortion law in the United States, the quickening was kind of a Quaker way of describing movement. So when the woman could start to feel the baby moving, that was considered the quickening. Many states actually had abortion legal prior to Roe versus Wade, and a lot of them were legal before the quickening. So this is kind of the long language that has been used in the United States to justify abortion. And now consider whether or not we consider the death of an unborn child fetal homicide. So pretty interesting little fact there. Now, back in 2024, the Unborn Victims of Violence Act was passed, but it was vehemently opposed by pro-abortion groups, arguing that Roe versus Wade deemed the unborn to not be a protected class under the 14th Amendment. Fascinating. Isn't that fascinating? We regard all these other groups, but we're going to say, like, those ones, the ones that we can't really see very well, or because they're like in the early stages of human development, those ones are not human beings. They're not human beings, apparently, until we can feel them, or until they have sentience, or they can identify that they are separate from the mother, or that they have brainwaves, that they can dream, all of these different things that qualify whether or not you are deserving of human rights, apparently. But what was so fascinating is that Planned Parenthood fought so hard because they acknowledged that this is incoherent. If we're going to say on one level that abortion is fine, they're not really persons, we should be able to abort babies up until the moment of birth, until they go down the magical birth canal, then we shouldn't acknowledge women who wanted their babies, especially like this poor woman, Kaylin, wanted her child. And Planned Parenthood would say, well, we're just going to pretend that the baby didn't exist. Like, yeah, it's kind of sad maybe, but like, I'm obviously being facetious, but like, they're going to pretend like that life didn't matter. It was just Kaylin's life that was involved, when literally the whole reason she was killed was because she was pregnant. Isn't that crazy to think about? It's actually insane to think that this is the rationale and the logic we have to deal with today in this current climate. So I want you to stay tuned though. So the rest of the show is going to be on Pelican Plus. Please click the link in the description to become a member today. The rest of the show is available exclusively on Pelican Plus. In Lifeline, I'll be covering Trump rejoining the Geneva Consensus Declaration, sneaky lawmakers in Illinois, the little known facts about the abortion pill, research about the impact of abortion on mental health, and some very good news about Nancy Pelosi. If you use the promo code LIFE when you become a member, you'll even get a little discount on your subscription. We're adding new things every single week, from commentary from the likes of Dr. Peter Kwasniewski and former Disney star Murray Murray, to stories about the saints in a podcast series called Martyrs and Miracle Men. We also now have beautiful music, oh my goodness, from the Benedictines of Mary, Queen of the Apostles. I love their stuff. I've had it for years now, and I play it during the different liturgical seasons, but now we have it on the app, which is awesome. And we also have prayers at your fingertips, and there's just going to be so much more. There is so much more already, but we're just adding new stuff all the time. So you should join and become a member. Don't forget to use the code LIFE to let Pelican Plus know that I sent you. On to Lifeline. Now, Trump rejoins the Geneva Consensus Declaration, which is just, again, the incoherence here is just wild to me. President Trump, and before anyone gets the wrong idea, I'm not like